Ashy, hi Breezy, hi Haiku, hi Super Duper, hi Neat, hi Celis, hi Calcum, hi Erd. Hi Sven. It's me. Chirami. Regular office worker Chirami. I work in an office now. As you can tell by my glasses and my semi-formal attire. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? What? I'm sort of somewhat present. Somewhat mentally present. This is the original Stanley Parable. She's slowly becoming a modern variety streamer. She can't escape it. You don't understand. You don't understand me as a person. Wait, where are your ears? What ears? What do you mean ears? They're under my hair, silly. Stanley Parable. I'll look up the release date. I was never much of a... The games I played were never actually that old though. Usually just 2010s. Hiya Haruka, hi Adrian. Chirami is gonna be playing COD soon. Nah, I'd rather gnaw my way through my arm than play COD. I don't respect Call of Duty players. About as old as she? How old do you think I am? It came out in 2013. That was a bowl. That was a bowl that I just stepped in. Oh god. Gary? TB was still alive when it came out. Who is TB? Treacherous Bear. Hi, Bob. My guess is that Chimi is 19. What do you think I am? It's up to you to decide. Anyway. It's a little slow on the uptake. Chirami is 500 years old, certified hag. Certified hag, I'm the oldest person alive. Oldest person you'll ever meet. 500-year-old loli? I don't think I count as a loli in the first place, unfortunately. I'm very sorry about that. I'm normal. The end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
I think I should let the intro cutscene run
427's job was
for the first time.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
I love working in the office.
Was happy.
I'm a work-filled office worker. Office
and then
lady.
One day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Give him
No
an
one
hour
had
to
showed up
realize.
to give him instructions, call a meeting,
Ouija.
or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ooh. What's over here? What? Uh-oh. Well, that's off. That's better, I guess. I have Proctor. Weirdo. Hey Barbie, was that an achievement? Yes, I have played this game maybe a lot of times. 420. I know my recollection of what I can do is a little limited. This game is made in Source Engine. Like a Half-Life Portal. I think TF2.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wow.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
This is for
Feeling
not
a
getting
wave
fired.
of
Talk less, do
disbelief,
unbelievably
Stanley
amazing work
decided
all
to
the
go
time,
up
every
to
day.
his boss's office. Hoping he might find an answer there.
I solved a dispute with a coworker, let it ball up inside you, take it passing aggressively on other coworkers, resent coworkers for not supporting you more. This is Kino. Is that the Proctor? Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure he's very famous. Many people respect him from his seat in his mother's basement.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned
Hi,
around and
Sazerac.
got back on track.
I'm gonna chill in here, Mr. Narrator.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow,
Boom, boom,
just
boom,
an
boom,
empty
boom.
broom closet.
Boom,
No
boom, boom.
reason to still be here.
But the game makers, I want to show off some of their other games because they've made
It
some
was
really.
baffling that Stanley was still
niche
just
stuff.
sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Narrator doesn't have a life. I live in his head rent free.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Pfft.
Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Ha. I'm a silent protagonist.
You do
I'm not
realize there's
Spade.
no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it.
Timmy,
to
do you
find
stay in
out.
one place without
It
doing
didn't even
anything
occur to
often?
me because literally,
You mean,
this closet is of absolutely
like in real
no
life or in video
significance
games?
to the story whatsoever. I
In
never
real
would have
life,
thought to
I
mention
stay
it.
in my room a lot.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I am just like Stanley Parable. Mr. Stanley
Well, I've come
Parable
to a
is
very
literally
definite
me.
conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
I got
Well, in a
nepotism into
situation
being
like
an
this,
indie
the
VTuber.
responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
I want to be
Hello?
mummified.
Anyone who happens to be nearby, the person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number
Wouldn't
of
it
your
be nice to
countless
rot?
human physiological vulnerabilities.
Wow.
It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Even here we aren't safe from the Nepo hires? Yep, that's right. Nepo hired into being an independent VTuber. I like this guy's accent. Gotta think for British
second
people, I
player.
see.
It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Well,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
woo. Timmy came out of the closet. I have never once been in any kind of closet. Except sometimes. That closet doesn't count, though. Boo.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley
Listen,
wondered in
like-
disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
I didn't remember
What he
it.
could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
I got the
But
first
of
number
course,
right.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I wouldn't have known it, so. Can I play the piano? Ooh. Ooh.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Very compelling, Mr. Narrator, sir. Very compelling.
2845.
Ba 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 ba. Do 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 do. Beetle do do. Ah da 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 da.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the
Wow.
hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Very, very fascinating. And a door has an override feature in case someone stays in the office too long. That sounds like a bad pick. What are the odds of that? I don't know. What are the odds of anything? What are the odds that you will today stumble out
Descending deeper
and find an
into the
untouched
building,
burger on
Stanley
your floor?
realized he felt a bit
Depends on how
peculiar.
slobby,
It was a
sloppy
stirring
you
of
are, I
emotion
guess.
in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Ooh,
This
ooh.
question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You sure I should do that? This sign drawn in what looks like crayon is pretty compelling. Down that evil, dark, scary hallway. I love crayon. I made burgers today and somehow my 2 dogs didn't find the burger. Between now and then, it would be less unlikely than you think. Is this a problem you experience? Okay. Nah. Ah, boo.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
Show
thought
me
to
your
himself.
TV.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Do you know that the positioning of all these television screens correlates with number sequence? I don't remember
Now
exactly what it
monitors jumped
translates to,
light, their
but
true nature revealed.
I just made it up.
Each bore the number of
It's
an
not very
employee in the
convincing.
building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yummy red crayon. I bet I could eat another crayon. I bet I could find another crayon to eat if you want. Can't hit more buttons. Well,
This mind control facility, it was too
why would you
horrible
set it
to
up
believe
like
it
this, by
couldn't
the
be
way?
True. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
very cool
Was this the
looking,
only
yes.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
yeah.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
This game
it.
makes a
His
very
own
good point
life
about-
in someone else's control.
about work
Never.
life.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Mind control
labeled with
status.
emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working.
Activate
All
power
of it
cells.
monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
I
would
can be
dismantle
trusted
the
in-
controls
around
once
machinery.
and for all.
No buttons here? Boo. Come on, light up buttons. Light up buttons. Oh, the beep boop. Source it was revealed to me in a Super Genie. You gotta stop adding super to things. Why can't I press the big red button? Designers of this game must have been monkeys. Just a loose crowd of apes.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Can you give me a reason, narrator? Give me a reason to do it? Super, my dreams are not super Chirami. I have normal dreams. I have a normal life. Only thing I'm super in is my personality is swag. My defiant nature makes me really want to defy. But I feel like we should see the most generic ending first. It's obviously the red-orange crayon that's the best. Bob?
Blackness and a
Nah.
rising chill of
I am a
uncertainty.
maniacal foreigner.
Was it over?
I am metal.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it
But
was
you
not
know me, I was you
knowledge or
super
even
weren't gonna
power
play
that
this
he
game.
had been
What
seeking,
are you talking about?
but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone
See how
tell him
poorly
where to go,
rendered this is?
what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Well, what if I don't wanna?
Stanley
Boo.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
Why do we have a
This was
massive
exactly the
office
way,
building in the
right
middle
now,
of
that things
like,
were meant to happen.
what
And
looks like
Stanley
Ireland, honestly?
was happy.
Have you watched the Truman Show, Chimi? Yes. A few times. It's pretty good. Beat the game. Complete Stanley Parable. That's the achievement I just got.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What do I want to do, sir?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this
Okay, see you,
immaculate, beautifully
Bye-bye.
constructed room.
It was nice
Stanley
talking to
simply
all of
stood
you.
here, drinking it all in.
I'll miss you. I'm sure you'll miss me too. Give me some cool drinks. I want the yellow one.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Yes, I'm leaving. I'm dying. I'm curling up in a ball and shriveling up and dying, which is what I
Stanley
do
sat
every
around
time
waiting for
stream
more
ends.
dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Yeah.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do I want to jump off this cargo lift?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that
When
convinced
stream
that
ends,
I
she
want
stops
something
existing.
bad to happen to you?
Every
Why,
time the stream
I don't
ends,
know how
I
to
immediately
convince you of
die.
this, but I really do want to
And I
help
rot
you,
away,
to show you
and I
something
must be
beautiful.
reborn.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Do you know how hard
Give me
it
a
is
chance.
non-conspicuously disposing of all my own bodies? Even if you claim that they're your bodies, you know, the police are still gonna be like, what you doing with all these human corpses? Mostly human. I hate the police. 2B1. That's a weird one. That's a weird door. 2B3. 2B4, 2B5. What
Now
is
listen
2B?
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I love to be defiant. I love to be evil.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nuh-uh.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
What, you don't want the super cheetah meat? Super cheetah meat?
You see? There's nothing
It's
here.
superb.
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
These
Was it
are
worth
all
ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for
textures.
you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours.
Hi,
What
platformer.
would
Hi,
have
but
made this game better? What did you want to see?
I
Vehicles?
was like cheating the
Skill
coolest
trees?
chinchilla.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing
Corpse
so far.
disposal.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
Are we gonna do that
A third
ending that
option.
takes like 10
This
hours?
already feels leaps ahead of where we
I
were
want to
before.
leave it for...
Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I'll do it after a few endings.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical
Until we see you later.
feedback
Bye,
here.
Aiden. Bye. Thank you. This is a horror game?
A
Yes.
1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game
never
could be
played a Stanley
improved to more
Parable?
fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my
That's a you
place to
problem.
judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Good old Neil. I don't think this is true anymore. Wait, 5 seconds? Did you know that 21.3% of players skipped the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. I was below a dead rat. Is part of the screen cut off? Oh, so it is. Cool. Give me a moment. Why is it so big? It was previously fitted to the screen. There you go. Woohoo! 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. A dead rat is ranked higher than me. Very sad. Wahoo! 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 I'm
Now,
stupid.
would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Blah.
Again, honest answers, please.
Blah.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
Also, your
Let me boot it
independently
up.
developed game you're inexperienced with.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You
Hi,
click
baby.
the button to move him back to the
Why
right,
has he got so
and
much
if he
hair?
reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course,
I
the
hate
message of
babies.
the game only becomes
Baby,
clear
go die.
once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
I'm going to burn
so
this
why don't
baby.
you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Come on.
Be sure
Come
to
on.
keep notes on your
on.
experience.
Go ahead, baby. Stupid baby.
heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely
I
to
hate
spite
work, I
me?
hate work, I hate
Because
work, I
if it's
hate
the
work, I
latter,
hate
I
work,
don't know
I
what to do. I'm completely out of
I ain't it,
ideas.
man.
I can't think of a
I'm
single
so
thing
glad I
that
don't
might
have to
improve the
work.
experience for me.
Yet.
I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
No matter
It's
how
over.
much people try to
Thank you
make
for
me a
playing.
lazy.
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see.
I've played the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and I like it. I don't like it as much
Yes,
because they
this
replace
seems
all of
like
these
it'll
games
work.
with games
Let's
we don't
give it a shot.
recognize. Like, who's gonna remember the games they replaced it with? All of the games featured here are completely
well, Stanley,
timeless.
Is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing
What
to
game
do
is
with.
this?
But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this.
Hey,
I'm
Link's
done
Fixer.
making things for you.
Linux Fixer.
From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose.
This is your job?
Watch this, Stanley.
I don't consider
I'm
it a job
going to
because I do
build
it
a
mostly
house.
for fun. And also, I don't make minimum wage
This will go
off this.
here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make
It's a
yourself
part-time
comfortable.
job?
Isn't it grand?
I don't want it.
Isn't it perfect? It could only be
I
better
don't
if-
want to be like, you guys don't pay me enough.
That's it.
I don't make
We
minimum
must
wage off of this.
rebuild it
This is
out
a
of
hobby.
Diamond. Diamond,
know?
everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along,
don't
Stanley.
make-
We have to go mining.
I don't make minimum wage off this. Hey, was that? That was like a mob or something over there. Over there is jungle trees. Big cliff. Minecraft.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
I don't have one. I'm having a fun time though.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more
Ancient
narrow and linear.
You should
Something
still
that makes
consider
you
a
feel
Streamlabs account.
utterly irrelevant.
I don't like when I
This
donate
won't do
Twitch
at
takes a
all.
cut.
1 out of 5.
I have a throne thing set up
Even
for
the
that. Thank you,
diamonds
Love
couldn't save
Crazy.
this one. Okay, new game.
I haven't set up a Streamlabs because I'm lazy. I'm very lazy. Hear that, everyone? Chirami wants you all to donate your money to her right now. If
Yes!
every
I
single
don't
one
even
of
know
you
what this game is,
donated
but I love it.
like 1 cent,
You,
I
trapped in
would
a glass
probably
box
have
with no way out, listening to
less
me
than
talk.
$1.
Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious.
But all of the
Let's
games
go
featured
find
in
out
this
what the
ending
hell this is.
are very timeless games, you know? Let me out! Get in there. Come on. Yeah! La la. Ah! I see. Wakarimasen. Streamlabs has actually been involved. I think you need a PayPal business account to try and hide identity. Something like that.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Hold on. I'll get it through. Ha! If you place it just right, I believe you can. Whatever. Too complicated. Not smart enough for this.
Genius.
But I don't need more. I don't need more money.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble.
Hello? Oh no. Where am I? Hi, Chirami. How's Portal going? Maybe it should have been Portal. I'm a big fan of Portal. I'm a Valve bootlicker half the time, and the other time it's like, Valve does nothing with all the things they've done. They just sit on their money printing machine. They don't make anything challenging or impressive anymore. This place is scary. Half-Life was so good. Portal was so good. Those are the story-driven games. I really liked the TF2 comics. The game doesn't have a lot of story to speak of, but it's very artistically driven in many interesting ways. Blue. What was that about? Give it. What?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it.
What was that about giving Chirami money? I was saying I don't consider this a job because I do it for fun and I don't make
cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
The end is never the end is never the end is loading. It's already been years since Half-Life Alyx came out, and it's a VR exclusive. Remember that. Remember that. I'd like to play it someday, obviously, but it seems like they only make games when they can make it exclusive to whatever the new thing is.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley
buy a new VR, whatever. You get a free Half-Life Alyx. Buy a new Steam Deck, whatever. You got a new Portal game. Wow, wow. You guys are stupid! I don't think that's how doors work. Blah, 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 blah. Blah.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting
room.
Nope. Well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
CSGO
employee lounge
2, I guess.
first,
Who even cares about CSGO though? People that don't go outside.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Bam.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Wahoo! Wahoo! Do you get outside and see me?
Didn't want to go back to the office.
Well, me not going outside is different from CSGO players not going outside.
So now, in order to get back, he needed to go,
because I'm...
From here, it's, left.
Is it Stanley Parable 1 or 2, or is it 3? There's no Stanley Parable. There is
Oh,
none.
no. No, it's to the right, man.
Let me out!
No, not the right.
But
Why would I
CSGO,
have ever said it was to the right?
it's just
What
pure
was I
gameplay, you
thinking?
know?
It's clearly...
There's not really artistic
Oh, dear, would
vision
you
to
hold
go
on for
with
a
it.
minute, please? Now, let's
I don't
see.
respect
Down,
most first-person
right,
shooters
left,
because they're just...
down, left, right. Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
okay,
love for
yes.
video games
I've
in
got
them.
it
It's
now.
like
This
they
story
got
is
the gameplay
absolutely,
down and they just
definitely this way.
continually ship it out again and again. Ah, here we go.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to oh. Who
I
am
love Spider.
kidding?
What's the artistic
It's all
vision in
rubbish
Wobble
now.
Dogs?
The whole story.
Even if
completely
it's not
unusable.
particularly
How about,
pleasing
rather
in
than
your
waste my
opinion,
time
Wobble
trying to
Dogs does
salvage
has a
this
clear
nonsense,
artistic
we'll
vision.
just restart the game from the beginning.
It's
And this
unique
time,
in its
suppose we
format,
don't
it's
wander
consistent
so
in
far
its
off track,
style.
hmm? Okay, from the top.
Even if you don't dig it. Games like Call of Duty or CSGO, it's just realistic.
All of his co-workers
It's
were
just like,
gone.
what if people
What could
shot
it
at each
mean?
other? Except that's a thing
Stanley
that exists in
decided to
real
go to
life.
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
People
missed a
shoot at
memo.
each other in real life. I could do that. My mom could do that. My dad could do that. My brother could do that. COD and CS are not realistic at all. It's styled in a realistic manner. I love FPS games, but I do have to agree with you that they all sort of play the same, really, about who can nail the gameplay and experience better.
Wait.
That's fine.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
I think that's
did
why I like
something
Postal 2
change?
so much.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did
Your
you
brother
move
probably
the
will do
story
that at some
somewhere,
point.
or,
Nah, my younger
hold on.
brother.
Why am I asking
My older
you?
brother
I'm
isn't
the one
real.
who wrote the story.
Or at
It was
least
right
I don't
here
think
just a
about him.
minute ago. I know for sure that
Bad
it's here
take,
somewhere.
bad take, whatever.
Okay then.
Whatever.
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I like Splatoon from time to time, even though I'm not good at it. And I like Postal 2. I respect Metroid a lot, but I don't enjoy the gameplay at all, to be honest. I know that's a bad take. I know that's an exceedingly bad take.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise
Soulless?
you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
Which
Okay,
Metroids
let's
have you
give it a
tried? The
shot, why
Metroid
not?
Prime series on the Wii. Splatoon stream would be so pog. I love Splatoon. I love Splatoon 2 a lot.
All of his co-workers
Only
were
one that would
gone.
be feasible
What
right
could it
now is
mean?
probably the original
Stanley
Splatoon.
decided to go to the meeting room.
'Cause I'm
Perhaps he had
unwilling
simply
to
missed a
buy.
memo.
Like a capture card and the Nintendo Switch, I feel like would be a little bit too much of an investment for me right now. You know? Metroid Fusion might be worth trying then. That was the Game Boy Advance one or something, right? There was also like a 3DS remake or something.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this
But I'm
wrong.
not,
It's
I don't
possible
want
the
to
story
rely,
is back
rely
where
on
we
all of
just
you to pay
came
for
from.
everything. I feel
Why
bad.
don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I don't want to beg for money all the time. Girl, that's your job. This isn't my job. This is my weird hobby.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story.
My office got long.
Here it comes.
I like Splatoon a lot. I wish squids were real. I wish kids were real too.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
That's what all VTubers do, at least. Well, a lot of
Now
VTubers.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
I
don't
feel
think
like
so.
it's
I
weird to
can't
consider
quite
this
recall,
my
but I
job.
believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yeah.
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it
Manga.
really paid off, so good job. Oh,
The begging
no.
for money, people are trying to give it
I
to you
don't
to
feel
begin
right
with, though.
about this at all.
You guys
We
can
both
give me
know we
money,
didn't
though.
put in any actual work for
Just
that
plain
win.
money, you
Some
can do
people
that.
win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting
Yeah,
weirded
I
out
got
by
it. If you
whatever
guys-
this place is. I don't care what might happen this
I think
time.
I got it. You
I
guys
have
like to know what it's
restart.
going towards, don't you? Right? I'll stay Peel Throne.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
If I put anything else on Throne, I want to wait for last thing to arrive first.
You see,
You know?
the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
I like to think
Simply
that my
by the
money
act
goes to the Pepsi
moving
Fund, most of it.
forward, are we implying
Most of
a
it probably
journey
does.
such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation
Getting
of
a
the
little
nature
weird
of life
here.
itself? Okay, Stanley,
wanna gnaw
need
this
to
off the
follow
wall.
this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
So
Now,
my
we can
thing
both
hasn't arrived
agree
yet.
that the
Mixer
nature
thing
of
hasn't
existence
arrived
is
yet.
in fact a byproduct of
Apparently
one's
they've got like a
subjective
supply
experience
issue,
of
so
that
it was delayed
existence,
by a
right?
few
Okay.
weeks.
Now, if my
I imagine
experience
it'll
of your
arrive
existence
in
rests
very,
inside
very
of
late
your
March,
subjective
or
experience
even
of this office,
maybe
is
March,
this
April.
office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential
Might arrive
mental
in April.
subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Getting a little confusing here. Spooky red light.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
I'm sure,
Make sure you
Mr.
study
Narrator.
it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
This looks like some fern leaves overlaid with a grass model. Are we done here then? Bum ba da bum 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 bum.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
9 PM?
9? You do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of
You
this
speak
ringing a
French?
bell?
I would eat a whole fern for $5. Or
Oh, no, not again.
enough
Lon.
money to
How could
cover
you have
how
done
much the
this to
fern
us?
costed,
And after
probably.
we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell
Fired.
with it. Restart.
that's a lot. Oh, boo. Someone buy her a fern and give
You
her
know
a $5.
what, Stanley?
Yeah.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it
You
ever
don't
done
have
for
to-
us?
you don't
We're
have to
intelligent people, right?
give me the
Why can't
$5
we make
even.
up our own story?
You buy me a
Something
fern, I will
exciting,
eat it.
daring, mysterious. Ooh, this
You
all
don't have
sounds
to tip.
perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Woohoo! Friends are free,
Now,
just gotta find
yes,
one out in nature.
this is
Do you
exciting.
think I live in a
Just
place
me
where
and
nature
Stanley
is
forging
abundant?
a new path, a new story.
Do you
Well, it
think
could
I
be
would be
anything.
inside
What
if
do you
nature
want
was
our story
abundant?
to be? Go wild. Use
What kind of
your
story would I
imagination.
want?
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for
A
it.
fun story, and it takes place
Oh no, not you again.
in a
Stanley,
world where we
I'd
have
also
taken
like to
over
veto
the world.
line from having
We
any
meaning
role in
America.
our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Wahoo! Wahoo! I want to exist in Super America.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
I'm sorry that
From
you live in
here,
the heart of
story
New York
is in
City,
our
Chirami.
control.
Hey,
How
I'm walking
important
here.
We mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Forget
walk in
about
circles
it.
For a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere.
I love to walk
which
in
means that
circles.
somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination
your most Italian voice.
corresponds
Mamma
with the
mia.
counter-inverted reverse
Pastrami.
door's origin. So starting
me.
from the right, let us ask, will taking the
I-
right door lead us to where we're going? And since the
I
answer is
can't
clearly
do it
yes,
Italian.
then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our
That
destiny
Chirami lives in the EST time zone in
awaits.
some kind of city. Watch out, Chirami. I'm getting closer to finding out your location. One of these days, you're gonna get a pizza delivered to you, already paid for, of course. Hey,
Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
hey,
all one
I'm
giant
walking
ending?
over here.
And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how
I'll
all
be
this
honest,
goes?
I don't even care if I
all
get doxxed anymore.
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
Who even
Well,
cares?
what if I don't want to forget?
You show up to my
mind
house and
goes
tease me.
blank
Simple as
simply
that.
because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I
Narrator
get to
forgets
decide?
about previous
Why
restarts.
don't
Stanley
I
attempts to
get a
play the
say in
story,
all
but
of
is
this?
prevented,
Is it
unable to
really?
go anywhere or do anything. The game restarts on
it
its own.
can't
Find
be.
the line again. Begin
I don't
following
want
the
it to
line.
be.
Find an
I
identical
don't
replica
want
of
the
the
game
office
to
that has
keep
begun to
restarting.
deteriorate.
I don't
Attempt
want to
to make a
forget what's
story here.
going on.
Narrator
I don't
restarts
want to
the
be
game.
trapped
There's no
like
longer
this.
an office,
I
simply
won't
black space.
restart
Wander
the
in the
game. I
blackness. Find a
won't
bookstore.
do
Get
it.
bored
I
and
won't
leave.
do
Narrator
it.
restarts
I
the game.
won't do it.
Narrator is gone after a long time. Stanley dies.
Stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
You heard her.
Will something
Boys' house
happen?
party at Chimi's. It's not my house.
Okay.
So please do not.
I guess now we just
It's
wait.
my dad's
You know,
house. Because I live
I
with my
suppose in
dad.
some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination
Well-
or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's
can
where
party
we
with
are
us?
right now. We'll find out, won't we?
Does
Eventually.
anything you've heard about
But
my
in the
dad line up with the dude who likes to party? And kiss too? Don't make out with my dad! You can't kiss my dad!
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
You're
What if
not
a
allowed to
crucial
kiss my
outcome
dad.
fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for
He's
that.
into Russians, that
No.
means he likes vodka,
This
right?
couldn't go anywhere except badly.
No,
The thing to
he's
do now,
into...
Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break
He
me.
collects propaganda
In here
from
I
all
can be
sorts of
happy
places. We have American
forever.
propaganda on the walls,
I
we have
will be
Soviet
happy.
propaganda, we have Chinese
Stanley
propaganda, we have a
waited.
bit of Turkish
Hours
propaganda.
passed,
I
then
think we
days.
have a little bit
Had
of
years
World
gone
War
by?
I
He
German
no longer had the
propaganda.
ability to tell.
There's a
But the one thing he knew
little
for
bit
sure,
of
beyond any doubt, was that if he waited
Korean
long enough,
propaganda.
the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will
Ooh,
end.
party at Chirami's
He will
house.
be spoken
Charges
to.
off to the address,
He
finds
will be
house, but it's
told what
chinchilla
to
sized
do.
and no one will fit.
Now it's just a little bit closer.
Is the party
Now
bring
it's
your own
even
propaganda?
closer. Here it
You know what?
comes.
Sure. You have to bring a giant propaganda poster if you want to come. And it better be authentic. If it's non-authentic,
recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
That's ominous. Just gotta whisper propaganda in his ear about men kissing. Stop trying to make my dad gay! You're not getting a silver fox, you're getting a sad IT worker. Please, stop. Can I bring propaganda from a certain German socialist party that was in power during the 1940s? No.
When Stanley
I don't
came
think
to a
anyone
set
will
of two
respect
open
you.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
If you own Nazi propaganda, don't.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Stop trying to seduce
hoping
my
he
dad,
might find
please.
an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Something like 2847?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Did you get the
So he
broom
relaxed
closet
for
ending?
a
It's
few
my
moments
favorite.
with some calming new age music.
There is none. I don't like them putting cheetah in the water. They're making my freaking dad gay. Stop trying to seduce my dad, please.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
I'm bona
Stanley
tied.
calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I think that's a reasonable worry. Is it so unreasonable to not want my dad to be seduced by random people? Can I go down more? You're just jealous of what, my dad? No.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nah, I'm going down a suspicious
Although
place.
this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this
That would
hall,
imply that he's
Stanley
desperate.
would meet his violent
He has
death.
only ever been with one woman, and that woman divorced him over a decade ago.
The door behind him was not
I don't
shut.
think my dad
Stanley
isn't
still
desperate.
had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Don't tell him I said that, though.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly
Will Chubby be at
confront
the
his
party?
death.
Can we give him propaganda? If you're going to try radicalizing my chinchilla, you're not allowed to come. Woohoo! But we're not random? Well, you're still... Is it so unreasonable to not want people seducing my dad?
Closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
People I know,
Stanley
at
can't
least.
see the bigger picture. He doesn't
I will
know
give
the real
Chubby an
story,
assault rifle and a
trapped forever
purpose,
in his
Mashallah.
narrow vision of what this world is.
You know what, if you
Perhaps
can
his
train
death
my
would have
chinchilla
meant
to use an
loss
assault
and
rifle,
plugging the
I think I will
eyeballs
be
from
more
blind
impressed
man.
than
So
upset.
he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
See ya. Woohoo! Come, sweet. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly
Woman.
into the enormous metal jaws. In
I
a
love
single
woman.
visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
That's complicated. And I go this way towards the big lights.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you
Woman
long
on
in
stream,
advance,
yeah.
death becomes
Wait until he
meaningless,
finds out what I
making
am.
life the same.
Wait until
Do
he
you
finds
see
out that
now?
I've been lying
Do
all
you see
along
that
about being a
Stanley was
40-year-old
already
trucker.
dead from the moment he hit start?
Nature paintings. Stanley's computer. Office layout. There's Stanley. There's office. There's more office. Boy. Wahoo! The 2 doors. Beautiful. Filing cabinets. Office computers. I love solitaire. Employee database. We can't read that. Too bright. Kevin writing as the narrator. Huh. Gerber baby formula. Dunkel. Staples. How did this? Oh wait, I've heard a few different voices in this. Omae wa mou shindeiru. You wouldn't lie to us cheetah-cons, would you? To you cheetah-philes? To you cheetah-freaks? Yes, I would. But you already voted you were a weird cousin, not a woman? Are weird cousins devoid of gender? Office clock. Boss's office. Wahoo! Employee lounge. Mind control facility.
Stanley walked through the green door. Then he pushed the big grate. Stanley pushed the number 6. And finally, he pushed the number 9.
What are these? I'm putting cheetah file on my job application. It's sure to get you a job. Link all my socials on it too. Alright, team, I gotta go. See ya. Bye-bye, Ashley. I think it's a little late. I think you might have already left. But bye-bye. I think I see people walking secretly out of my vision. They won't let me know that they're there. Freedom ending. Wahoo! Buttons. Blinding lights. Countdown desk. More freedom ending. An exit I'm not taking. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. Countdown room. I'm a Chirami liker. I'm a Chirami liker. You will not have your tongue anywhere near me. The Zending. What is the Zending? Zending levers. Blah. The game is paused. Me and my group of 50 wives. I don't know what I'm on about. I am running on minimum awareness. I am barely present mentally. I love museums.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I'm a Chirami wife, I guess? Yeah, sure. You're all my Chirami wives now. Better get used to it.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I think you'd enjoy an art
No,
museum. I've been to a
perhaps
few.
not.
I like them.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
I'm sleepy. Hell yeah, we're finally married to Teamy. You gotta wear dresses now, though. Or else you get it rescinded. You can only be a wife. Black screen? Does it count? No. You gotta wear a dress. Team likes femboys? No, I'm just tormenting you. Did you eat today? I ate some leftover carbonara. I stayed up till 2 a.m. And I woke up at some time. Can I be your cross-dressing tomboy wife who wears manly clothes? Are you transitioning to tomboy? What? Can you explain the process? I assure you, Teamy, you don't want to see many of us in dresses. I want to torture you. I want the rest of you to have to see each other in dresses. I'm gonna lay down. Why? I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bye-bye, Daisy. Bye-bye, bye-bye, Nate. Bye-bye, Bob. Bye-bye, Sazerac. Bye-bye, Meta. Bye-bye, Enid. Bye-bye, Breezy. Bye-bye, Bonatide. Bye-bye, Standard. Bye-bye, Aaron? No, I already said Aaron, didn't I? Bye-bye, Barbie. Bye-bye, Haiku. Super Duper still here? Bye, Super Hooper. See ya. Honk. Me. Congrats on 50 marriages. I'm gonna regret it. I'm gonna become a divorcee of 50. Bye, Deja Vu.